It's Retro Repair Roundup number 59 or something with your hosts, people that you see on the screen. and that's it. Okay, good night.
Well, that was a quick one, Joe. It's that might have been a new record for us.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, isn't it great? So
the time just flew by like that. It just felt like it started and it ended.
yes, kind of like KansasFest, which similarly starts and finishes.
Yeah.
And although it's 5 days long, it feels like
feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
On the
But we
last
still have
day.
the live event this weekend.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of time to relive the memories and make new ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, quick housekeeping again. Welcome everybody to Retro Repair Roundup number 59. I suppose we've got Kat and DJ and Frank and Scarlett and Veronica and Jeremy and Garth and Mac 84 CDI. And everything is Broken Garage, all in the chat. Howdy and how you doing, everybody? Remember to do the like and hit the subscribe things. It helps everything happen. So, it's not Sunday. No. So, we are Devo. Okay. Whip! Anyway, so, no, it is not. It is Monday. And the reason why we didn't have Retro Repair Roundup on Sunday is because many of us were still driving home from KansasFest. Sean, I'm sure, was busy also like helping pack up and tear down the event since he's one of the on-site committee people. Or he was busy like telling people to do it, one or the other. Yeah, that. So yeah, we were no. I had no energy. Ron had no energy and other things he was doing on Sunday. And Sean was awesome. So that's how things go. So we moved it to Monday, and we figured we would, I don't know, take a chance to talk about KansasFest a little bit and give our thoughts and ideas as to how it was this year. So, who wants to go first about this? Do we want to? Who wants to? How do?
Trina, obviously, Trina should be the one that starts the conversation about the event that she was literally 1,000 miles away from.
Well, I did enjoy watching Joe go from having a handful of free items to a box.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's all I saw of it. So
interesting note that ended up being upgraded to an entire sealable Tupperware container later on in the day.
Mm-hmm. Even burped it to keep in the freshness.
Mm-hmm.
and also we were all
sealed in.
All during that live stream, we were all keeping an eye because people kept seeming to go towards Ron's pile, and we're like, "Go away!" At one point, I put in, I hope he put a sign on it saying, "Please do not take.
Don't touch it."
Yeah.
Were they attracted to Ron's pile or to Ron?
Well, no, Ron was usually away from, like, he had brought something and then he would go back.
Mm-hmm.
Although he has
while he was away, they would like come towards the pile, and we're all like,
Well, they should have did what I did, which is I pilfered the pile before it even got there. Ron let me scoop a Monitor 3 and a stand, and I'm like, yay, thanks, man. I mean, I've given away so many of them that I haven't kept any of them for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ron was nice enough to set me up.
Yeah, that's you're very welcome. But that's my problem too. Is there's lots of times where I'll end up with a couple of something, and then because I went and I bought some. There was a guy in St. Louis that had a bunch of Apple II stuff that he was trying to unload. And he had like a bunch of 2G or the original ADB keyboard for like the 2GS. And I said, yeah, I ended up I got like a whole pile of these. A whole pile's like 5. And folks were like, oh, I've been looking for one of those forever for my 2GS. And I'm like, oh, just send me your address. I'll mail it to you. And so I sent, and then I realized I gave them all away.
Oh, no.
So, but it's not a complaint because, again, it's like the garage giveaway and everything else that kind of happens with K-Fest and stuff in this hobby. It's you're doing stuff to make things better for the overall community. and it feels good to do nice stuff for other folks. So
You're in there for the warm fuzzies.
yeah, exactly. That's what I get out of this hobby mostly.
Yeah.
Is
I
Trina
get that.
sleeping?
Yes.
No. Trina's just checking a message. That's all.
Oh, I thought she was praying. Do I want an HP keyboard?
Please, Lord, let customs send Ron's package to me directly without opening it. Amen.
So
No,
let's.
it'll probably bounce back because the keyboard might have a battery in it.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so let's talk about the new venue, the new wonderful venue that we had. So
Kat said the new venue was choice.
it was, yes, it was. It definitely was an improvement. We're not talking about Waldorf Astoria here, but we are talking about the difference between, in retrospect, a Yugo and a Chevy Impala. So it was still an upgrade. So for those who may not have gone to K-Fest, who are watching or have gone to the K-Fest in the past, for a billion years, it was hosted at Rockhurst University in Kansas City, Missouri. And in the early days, that was okay because it just wasn't a big problem. And also, you're spoiled for not knowing what could be better.
Yeah.
The big issues with Rockhurst over the years have become that it's a somewhat hilly campus. So there's lots of stairs, and the dorm room that they put us in has no elevators. So, we're getting, a lot of us are getting up there years, or in the case of me, are incredibly lazy. And we don't like walking up and down stairs. So, also, you're trying to haul all this stuff from your garage giveaway for whatever demonstrations, demos, your machines, whatever, up and down. And you're like taking 10 trips to your car to haul all this stuff up.
I don't know why you're complaining about our free cardio program.
No.
I mean, you didn't know part of it was workout camp, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I contend that the old venue, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that our needs have changed.
True.
We had a few technical things last year that interrupted a lot of people's fun. But those things were resolved by the campus. So I don't want to burn any bridges, but the new venue is very nice.
Right. And
more modern, I heard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 20 years newer.
yes,
Modern enough.
Yeah.
I
mean,
building
more.
is
Yeah.
different, and it's just a more updated facility, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think that the new location, University Illinois Springfield, I think they did a better job of actually. Now, I'm not on the committee, so I can't really say, but I think they did a better job of listening to the needs of the event and catering to that to some extent. But the other side of it is a lot of work was done ahead of time by the committee to go out and vet several different places and pick one that actually fit our needs, so that the venue didn't have to do a lot of gymnastics. And I think it really did turn out well. The audiovisual capabilities of the media room of the Shelbyville, yes, of the AV capabilities of the room, the group room, the game room, whatever that room is called, brain not work.
Yeah. It was nice to have everything in one spot. And I will say that as someone who attended and talked to people and just asked the question, what is a positive thing about this year, in especially if you've attended before, and what's like a negative thing? And overwhelmingly, the feedback was positive, and people had a hard time thinking of anything negative to say about the event or about the new location. And it was very, very nice to have what Kat's calling the great room, where it was for food, it was for garage giveaway, it was for presentations. It was a place where people could meet and socialize. At the old location at Rockhurst, some of those experiences are kind of broke up because you've got a specific area that we do talks and things like that. And then there's a different area for garage giveaway. There's a different area that people kind of congregate to eat. And some of that kind of filters between those places. But it was nice that everybody knew exactly where to go at what time. And so, yeah, people seem to really like that. They also really like the food that was provided as part of the event. The food choices seemed really, really good. Even people that showed up late and didn't know what they ordered found something that was acceptable to eat. Nobody left like with their hands in their pockets, upset that that they were hungry or something. There was always
I left with my hands in my pockets, but I wasn't upset.
I think it's because you had put 2 sandwiches in. People also said a lot of good stuff about the on-campus dining stuff, where for breakfast and some of those other meals.
They had incredibly good cheeseburgers.
Yeah, they were really good. Seasoned and cooked just perfectly.
The staff, the wait staff or the cook staff there those guys were rock stars.
Well, Kate deserves a lot of the accolades for the food choices. She did a great job scouting those out, and we appreciate all the hard work she put into that. They were really good food choices.
Thank you, Kat.
And even like one night, and Kat was really upset about this, but we had Qdoba cater one of the meals. And it was originally that they were supposed to, I guess, make individual things, but through a miscommunication, they had just served it buffet style. That seemingly worked way better than having individual things, because people could go through, portion, people could go through, mix it up, get exactly what they wanted. And so everybody seemingly enjoyed that too. So even like the mistake thing that happened wasn't, it was a happy accident that it turned out better than what was originally planned.
And there was plenty to eat. There were leftovers that we continue to munch on and nosh on through the rest of the
Guilty.
Yeah, me too.
A whole bag of freaking chips. It's fine.
Yeah. I also, after because we have the fundraiser that with the Krispy Kremes, I was marrying all the milks afterwards, and somebody gave me kind of a hard time about that, because they were like, wait a minute, you can't mix those two together. I'm like, what's going to happen?
They will explode.
Like the universe would like blow up. Well, actually, I figured out what happened. When you mix the 0% milk and the 1% milk, you get 0.5% milk.
Oh my God.
We actually have 0.5% milk here in Canada.
You guys are weird. Yeah.
If it's 5% milk, where's the other what's the other 95%?
I think
water.
It's sadness.
Sadness.
White sadness. I don't know. It went really quick. People drank like the low fat milk options, but nobody opened the vitamin D. The vitamin D milk was like completely shut. I guess everybody was like, you know what? I'm already going to eat like 10 Krispy Kreme donuts. Why tempt fate?
Those are metric percent now, though, so they don't translate, says Veronica.
Yeah. Plus, how do you marry 2 bags of milk? That just seems messy.
Yeah.
It's a very tricky and complicated thing. You have to grow up in Canada to understand.
Yeah,
this.
I guess so.
Funnels and
I've seen every episode of You Can't Do That on Television, so I feel like I could at least learn. I could be let in on the secret, but
absolutely. So garage giveaway, of course, is a big part of KansasFest, and what was everybody's input on that? Sean, let's start with you. What did you think about garage giveaway? Since it's kind of your pet project and has been for a long time.
Well, since attendance was a little lower than previous years, we thought we'd bring a little less. but that didn't stop everything from pretty much disappearing. We were a little document heavy this year. I did bring some things that I knew people were looking for, like some ROM 3 2GSs. I hope they all work. I mean, last I knew they all worked. And I brought a few extra Apple IIe's of particular vintages. But there were a lot of books, a lot of magazines, a lot about magazines, but a lot of books, a lot of software. Next year, we're probably going to bring more hardware. But we're still trying to work through the Roger Wagner collection, which is a lot of documentation.
Oh yeah.
And then the Tony Diaz estate. We even still have Michael Mann stuff, and I've had that collection for going on 5 years, and we're still going through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked in the garage giveaway when we were sorting, and I think we've got another 6 or 7 years worth of big garage giveaways if we chose to do so.
That's awesome.
Cool. Are there plans in the future? I know it hasn't really been inhibited in the past, but are there plans in the future to have attendees help supplement the garage giveaway?
Well, they already do that. People are we've encouraged if people want to bring things that they want to cast off or donate to the community, they're free to do so.
Yeah.
We had a lot of that happening this time, last year as well, and the year before. So I think this really speaks well to our community and how generous we are in recycling things that we don't need anymore, but we put it back into the community for other people to benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
The Apple II community is just very, very generous. Well, I think the whole retro community is.
I see Kat said someone did this year. They brought a pile of 2E and clones.
Yes. Yes. One of those clones was absolutely fascinating. It was like a Hong Kong ripoff, but inside it had an actual Apple II board. Well, that happened, I don't know, but I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was fun.
But
Is it in your basement now, Joe?
No, I brought no Apple IIs home. I have plenty of those. Thank you.
Was that clone a Redstone? I saw a Redstone in the pile, and
I'm not sure.
I wanted to play with it, but I just talked myself out of it.
I'm not sure what I'm honestly not sure, but the entire guts of the machine were Apple II. It was an Apple II power supply and board in a clone chassis. Sure, why not?
Well, back in the day, that wasn't so unusual, especially if it had the numeric keypad.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Some people wanted that numeric keypad without having to buy an external, and so they would just buy the parts, and it's all authentic on the inside, but on the outside, it's all welcome to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say though that a lot of those machines, even if people just didn't pick up the machine for the repair night, which was kind of nice because I know we've had kits and done things in years past, but like Sark and DJ came down and people were just working on things and trying to fix stuff, and they were floating around and giving advice and testing things and just kind of like helping people get those things up and running. And there were a lot of people. There was a couple of there was like a 2E and another machine that were over there, and people were like going over there and pulling chips out and testing things. And I know Kat was working on her 2, just testing, I guess, memory and things like that. But
Yes, and we stole every single RAM chip out of that clone, and it ended up in her computer.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And serious question, everything is broken garage has, and that is, how do you not bring home so much stuff from garage giveaway? Willpower. I don't know. At some point, you can only Tetris your car so much. Some people fly, so they can't do that, and they don't feel like shipping the stuff across countries or states.
Yeah, when there's 60 other people vying for things, it's I don't know. You don't get everything you would want, but chances are you're going to find something that you will like.
Yeah.
I think this begs the question of what all did we get at garage giveaway? Who took home cool stuff? Ron.
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to go to me first.
Of course.
I think my favorite part is, I do like the getting stuff out of the garage giveaway, and there's always fun things in there that I'm interested in. But this year, I actually, like last year, I brought a couple of things to put on the pile. I brought like a G3 iMac, and I brought some like drives and things like that, and it was okay. But I feel like after a lot of years of me taking things, I brought like cube load of stuff to give away, and like I had power books, and I had a bunch of 90 CRTs and power supplies, and just a mess of stuff that I like drives, and I just a wide selection of different things. I didn't bring any image raiders because I know the rules, but but I did bring a lot of things that I hoped other people would find useful, and seemingly all of it went. Maybe except for a few things, which in my haste getting out the door, I completely forgot and left like some PowerBook frames and stuff there. But hopefully those found a nice new home at the bottom of a dumpster somewhere. And
I saw someone take them all away.
oh, well, then that's great. That's great.
Good.
That's perfect. So
Yeah,
but-
and he just had waste disposal written on the back of his
yeah,
shirt.
right.
1-800-GOT junk.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed and it disappeared.
But the in terms of things I actually got, I got the Nubus controller card for the Apple PC compatible drive. So there was a low density 5.25 floppy drive that Apple released to be able to read PC formatted discs way back in the day. And so I have one of those now.
You got a Mustang controller?
Yes.
Nice.
I also got, oh gosh, there was a couple of, gosh, I can't remember what they're called, but it's basically, it converts your ImageWriter .matrix printer into a scanner.
Oh, Thunderscan.
Thunderscan.
So they had a Macintosh version of the Thunderscan there, and then they had complete in-box, and then they had a 2GS version of the Thunderscan. It was just the box, but it looked really, really nice. And I kept seeing that box get moved around because I think people were like, oh, it's in there. And it wasn't in there. But I took it just because they're very pretty. The artwork on the 2GS version is like kind of nightmare fuel. So I'll do a video on my channel with all the stuff I got. But Sean said that this was kind of a documentation heavy year. I still love that. And I picked up manuals, and I picked up sales sheets, and I picked up product registration forms, and all kinds of stuff that is just that people typically kind of throw away. And one of the things is that little pack that Apple ships with the machines. Inside are all those Apple stickers. So there was a number of those that I picked up and opened. I'm like, the Apple stickers are in there. And I go over to like first time attendees and be like, take this. I don't want that. No, you want the stickers inside. Not so you want this. And they're like, oh, that's great. And
it's our hope that people like you will take that documentation and scan it, put it online, make it available to everyone, because we don't have the resources, frankly. So
sure,
good on you for taking that.
Yeah, no, it's
great to see.
I love that
just
stuff.
throw away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I had the opportunity to pick up 478 quadrillion Apple III discs. Apparently somebody dumped their entire Apple III disc collection, and then I missed some, and so Ron randomly picked those up and walked by me and just put them in my hands and said, here you go, and then walked on.
Here's another one.
He dry bombed me or disc bombed me, but that was cool. One of the things that upset me this year, and this is Joe being an angry man yelling at things, and that was that I got screwed over by the United States Postal Service, and I really do hope that this gets flagged by YouTube, so that when people search for United States Postal Service being idiots, people will find this video. No, I'm kidding. But I sell the light sound cards for the Apple IIgs, the stereo sound. It's not really a sound card; it's just an adapter doodle from
Adapter doodle.
Darlington. Yeah, adapter doodle. Adapter doodle.
I love that technical term.
Yeah.
And he had some delays in getting cards to me because of whatever's going on in his world, and that's fine. Stuff happens. But we set it up so that he would overnight ship me cards so that I could just hide them in the garage giveaway, just kind of scatter them about. And they were supposed to arrive Friday before KFest, and they didn't show up Friday, and they didn't show up Saturday, and they didn't show up Monday. And I left Tuesday to go to KFest, and they showed up Tuesday in the afternoon here, and I'm in Illinois. So I didn't get to put anything on the pile that I planned to put on the pile, which kind of made me cry.
Yeah.
So yeah, but my big, if you want to call it, get was a kind of weird multi-way collaboration with a lot of different folks in the group. So someone somehow, I don't know if this came from the actual I don't know, the garage giveaway core, or if somebody brought some with them, but there was 14,000 graphics tablets.
Yeah.
It was 8. I'm exaggerating like I always do, but there was a whole bunch of those things. And 50 Shades of Beige, to answer your question about posting stuff to Rockhurst, the issue with doing that in my case is that I didn't think ahead and think that I could pre-make some of the things that I normally put in the packets with it. So basically, Bob sends me half of it. I provide the other half, put them together, and then that's the product, is basically how it is. And I didn't think about that. So I could have taken my half with me to not to Rockhurst, but to UIS and had him ship it. I didn't think about that. So I'm really angry at myself. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So graphics tablets. So Kat found those, and she's like, those are awesome. And then Forrest Lowe was there as well, and he's like, these things are awesome, but the problem is the cards are always missing, because what happens, the card stays in the computer. This is just the same thing that happens with the Y cable with the Apple IIe thing, or the Apple IIe card, is that the card stays in the computer and the graphics tablet goes this way, and they separate. The card disappears, and you got all these tablets and no cards, right? Yeah. And that was a big thing this year too. There were no cards. There are no interface cards there this year.
Well, we can remedy that. There are a number of graphics card tablet or cards in the Tony Diaz collection. So
yes, and
if you need some,
well, and I'm getting to that. The other thing too is the pen. Now, the stylus pen, that's the same thing. It's this tiny little thing on a cable, and it just disappears, right? And it depends on which version of the tablet you get. I think some of the tablets is permanently attached, but others it plugs in. I don't know. But they're just gone. They're just not extant. Forrest Lowe had one with him. He had a pen with him. And so between the three of us, we got this weird, wacky idea. Hey, Joe, you're good at cloning things. You want to make these things so that people can use their graphics tablets? Sure. So apparently that's now on my list of things to do. I have a pen from Forrest that I need to figure out how to clone. And then the card is easy. The card's not. It's 5 Jelly Bean logic chips and a ROM. It's nothing complicated. So
no, I want jelly beans.
Ooh, jelly beans.
I'm glad you brought this up, Joe, because now we can tag the garage giveaway with graphic content.
Yes. Graphic content. Yes. Yes. Does anybody get the joke?
I'm too hot.
Yeah, I know it hurts. Anyway, close the card, call it Dolly. Yes, that's what we're going to call it. 50 Shades of Beige. We're going to call it the Dolly card. Clone the workstation card. We've talked about that. That's impossible because it has an ASIC on it. Well, not impossible, just really hard to do. But yeah, I'll talk about the cloning process later.
Well, if you need more cards for Terra Park, let me know. We can dig those out.
Yes,
they won't be that hard to find.
Forrest was going to send me his card too.
Okay.
Joe and I are supposed to go to Camino later because that's where all the cloners are. And,
darn good ones too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was garage giveaway this year. And then other really cool things are speakers. We had 2 really good keynote speakers. We had Rob Gemmell, who was he the industrial designer of the Apple IIc? And then we had Rich Williams, who wasn't just a keynote speaker. He was present. He was there all week, and he helped do the low-level design of this machine, of the Apple IIc, since it was the anniversary of the Apple IIc this year. So that was really cool to have him around, and you could just like bump into him and be like, "Hey, do you remember what happened when blah 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 blah?" And then he would just be like, "Yeah, here's the history of the time period. Here you go."
Yeah,
that was really nice. He was super
real cool
and very engaged as well. He wasn't just he wasn't like standoffish celebrity. Like, he was like, "This is awesome. I'm in it. I'm in it." Yeah, so it was really cool.
Super approachable, super nice guy, real free with his history, and very likable guy. He was just excellent to be around.
He answered my questions about old Apple T-shirts, and anybody that would just be like, you know what, I'll just stand out here in 85-degree heat and talk to you about T-shirts seems like a good guy to me.
Of course, it wasn't just those two gentlemen. We also had Jordan Mechner, the creator of Prince of Persia, and other karateka and other cool things, who showed up via a Zoom call. So that was cool. And lots of cool sessions this year. Lots of cool sessions this year.
What was your favorite?
My favorite session was the session I didn't get to see because for some reason my brain decided it's time to sleep, and I slept through it. So I'm gonna have to go back and pick it back up when it re-airs, or go look at the stream. And that was the session about connecting to an SMB share from an Apple II GS.
That was my favorite. Yes.
That was insane. Just the concept of it is like, yes. Yeah.
Very,
what about
very
you?
informative.
Yeah, the guy went out of his way to make to explain not only just the user side, but the technical aspects of it, and he put a lot of great thought into the design and the GUI implementation, and that's going to be a great tool for GSOS users.
Absolutely.
I put it up there as right up there with the work that you and OneUp's done, and others. That's going to be an amazing thing to have.
Ethernet and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We did have some interesting things that happened because of events outside of the control, or I'm sorry, things that happened outside of the event's control, rather, with our good friends over at CrowdStrike, where one of our presenters had to leave early because their IT infrastructure was impacted by that. So that was kind of a shame. And another speaker had to leave because of just like a family situation. So it's like, it was really cool that the committee was able to very quickly step in and reshuffle things and still keep a full schedule for the day, so that way people could, just kind of enjoy and, learn more about all kinds of crazy things.
Well, again, that's Peter, Chris, Paul, and Kate, jumping in and making things happen well.
Scarlett's asking if Burger Becky made it. No, Burger Becky was not here this year. We also missed a couple of other guest alums. Quinn Dunkey didn't show up this year. She had some scheduling conflicts. And same thing with Carrington Vanston, who usually shows up. He hasn't been here for several years, but he had work-related stuff, and he couldn't show up either. So that was kind of sad. I've been looking forward to meeting those two people forever. I wish they would show back up again. So Quinn and Carrington, if you're watching, Joe misses you. You've never met me, and I'm sure I'm freaking you out, but Joe misses you. So,
yeah. I'd say one of my favorite sessions was Cats, just because it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of a K-Fest story, because she got a piece of equipment at the event and then has now, over the course of the last year, worked with different people in our community to try to get this thing up and running. And finally now a year later has like some cool things to show off. And it came down to that she got a Apple 410 color plotter, and somebody just dumped it on the pile. And she was able to go through and work with Javier and made like a new print head and source new pens and write some software to use the plotter. And so that's like absolutely kind of like what this event is about too.
Yep.
Is leveraging kind of those relationships in the community to do fun things. And so I really enjoyed, because she's very passionate about this too, and it kind of came across in her presentation. So it was neat to watch that. It's always cool to see people like Jordan Mechner and stuff like that. But those guys have big stages a lot of the time. So it's also really great to hear from folks that that basically KFest is where they kind of come out and get to talk to like maybe a larger audience than their YouTube or their other social media stuff, and share some neat ideas.
I've enjoyed watching her plot her progress with that project.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you have a plotter like that, isn't it?
Thanks to Miss Cat, yes, I do now. That's one of my gets at KFest. She showed up with an extra plotter and is like, "Here." I'm like, "Okay." And so now I've got, and I have one of all the 3D printed parts that you designed for it, and Mr. Plotter is over there waiting for me to do things with it. So, yes. So, what should I do with that plotter? I should connect it to Global Talk or somehow and have people make rude pictures on it.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. Anyway,
that sounds like what all this technology has been building to this whole time.
Cats and dick pics. Yes, moving on.
Wait, what?
No, you missed your opportunity.
Yeah,
cat videos and other subjects. Yeah, absolutely. Global time for global plots. Yes,
global plot.
Cool. So, I can't think of what else to talk about.
I don't know. Did you buy anything at Vendor Fair, Joe?
I did not get a chance to buy anything at Vendor Fair because I was part of the Vendor Fair.
Yeah, so I was stuck behind my table.
Yes, but there were lots of cool stuff at Vendor Fair this year. I think, and I'm sorry to put you down on this, Ron, but I think the coolest thing that there was at the Vendor Fair was the Apple IIc video adapter that was just to my right. It was the what do you call it? The Tangy. Yes, because it uses the Tang Nano module. So
it's way cool. It's I wanted to go, and I was hoping there might be one or two left. I could buy one, and no, they all sold out.
No. Other things are there. That was a talk. He wasn't a part of the vendor sale because he's not ready to sell yet. Ron's had his A2 Pico there, or not A2 Pico, his Pico Micromac boards that he put together. He was just showing those off. Although I'm not sure you didn't have the opportunity to sell them because I think we sold out before KFest.
Right. I had a couple of them left over. But I had a lot of people come up and say, "Hey, can I buy one of those boards?" And I was like, I don't have enough to sell, and people will be mad if it's like I asked you to, and I couldn't. So what I did is I did a little talk and talked about the Pico Micromac project and the UMac emulator. Okay. And so basically, earlier in the day, I seeded the free pile with a bunch of floppy disks with a special label, and said, "Hey, did you pick one of those up? Because if you did, come up and you can redeem it for a free one."
What label did you use, Ron?
Oh, it's it's like caution live bees or warning live bees, something.
Caution live bees.
Yeah, caution live bees. So, so people had collected those. They're like, "Oh, I took one of those back to my room." So people ran back to the room and came back out, and so I gave away all the ones that I had on hand, and our friend Stu got one, and he actually soldered his up and flashed it, and was even playing around. He had
walking around with it.
Monitor. Yeah.
He had it all attached to his portable monitor with everything, with a battery pack and everything. Was walking around K-Fest with this thing. It was the coolest thing. He didn't have a mouse or keyboard, so he couldn't do anything with it, but it was just cool that he was able to put that together and just had this tiny little itty-bitty thing he's walking around with. It was really neat.
Yes.
Cool
It was
stuff.
fun.
Did you let them keep their discs? No.
Yes.
You know the discs back.
No. I got them back, but then I gave them back out anybody that wanted one. So
I didn't really have a lot to sell this year. I had my A2 Vidges and stuff like that. I didn't have a lot of Apple II specific stuff other than the A2 Vidya, which was new this year, because I didn't have time. A lot of my Apple II stuff that I do has to be physically manufactured. I have to take time to put it together, and I ran out of time. Before the K-Fest because I had stuff going on. As a matter of fact, the one thing that I did show off at the vendor fair just to pique some interest for it was the it's over here at my bench right now. The Diamond Trackstar clone. I was working until Monday night before I packed to leave to get that clone working. So I made sure to have that at my table to show off.
It was quite the rig you had.
Yeah, it's a this 486 on a 3D printed benchy thing with like cables and stuff all over the place, and it's just chunk. And people were walking up, they're like, what is this? I'm like, this is a 486 running Apple II software. Huh? So I had to explain the thing, and it was pretty cool. So
yeah, absolutely.
yes, absolutely.
Was your mom's Windows affected by the CrowdStrike thing, Rudy?
I was actually kind of lucky. That didn't affect me from a business perspective any.
Yeah.
There's a small outage for it that I think was related.
Yeah, we Mac users never heard about that.
Yeah. So what are we looking forward to for next year at KansasFest? What's in the works? Do we have any idea at all? Probably not, other than it is happening, and it's happening sometime.
Yes.
Sean. Well, you're on the committee and you're the one of the planners, so that's why I'm asking you.
Oh wow, way to out me. God, gosh. Well, we haven't. We don't have anything to announce yet, but we always try to get K-Fest going during the third week of July to keep it consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very solid chance we'll be back at the same venue.
And there were some growing pains and some teething, I guess if you would call it, at this venue. A lot of it around, I think, kind of like the timing of and spacing between things, and the audio visual situation, because that room is oddly set up with the way that the mixer works. But yep. we figured out a lot of that by day 2, and it was pretty smooth. So next year it would fly right through.
Yeah, I'd have to say Chris and Peter got it figured out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they did an amazing job being so adaptable.
Yeah.
We had to use the campus equipment because while our trailer was in storage, it got broken into, and our soundboard, our professional lights, a computer, cameras, things that we normally rely on to broadcast K-Fest, all got stolen.
Oh no!
And a couple $1,000s worth of gear. So
wow.
That we were able to take advantage of the campus equipment and improvise is a real testament to the the skills of the guy, of Chris and Paul and Peter and everyone else on the committee. They did an excellent job making things work.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't pat them on the back
enough.
They just really stepped up. I'm really happy with the committee. But as far as next year goes, next year there's a good chance we'll be back at the campus.
Mm-hmm.
as the president, I have to. It's not just the venue I have to take into account. It's the expense and everything that's involved. Because we pass the expense on to attendees, and we want the event to be an attainable experience for as many people as we can. We don't want to price it out of everyone's reach. So that I'm kind of stuck between looking around for what's the best value and try to check off as many boxes as possible. But Springfield does check off the majority of our boxes. So um, Ken Gagne gave me some excellent advice. He said the K-Fest, their World Camp, when they go somewhere for their conference, they do it for a minimum of 2 years, because the first year you have your growing pains, trying to figure out where everything is, how everything works, and then the second year you have a better idea of judging the venue clearly, taking into account everything. That made sense to me. So I think I'm going to take his advice.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work out next year, there's always the University of Toronto. Here.
We would consider going to Canada, but we don't speak Canadian.
That's right.
Makes it rough.
We barely speak it either.
We need a translator. Yeah.
Yeah, I got across the border, and it suddenly everybody's like, took this, and I mean the
maple syrup. That.
I mean, come on, English people.
Yeah, weird.
What is this poutine and crap you're talking about, and moose and one thing I wanted to get everybody's take on, at least those of us who went, and maybe those who are in the chat who actually went as well, is the airport situation. The one of the upsides to being in KCMO is that it has a very large, prominent international airport there, so you can get direct flights or 2 hop flights pretty much straight to the town. Yeah. Springfield, its airport is it's more regional, I guess. It's not like some tiny little podunk airport, but it's more a regional airport. So getting flights there was a little bit more difficult, is my understanding. Did we have any feedback from people about that process, whether that hindered them deciding to come to K-Fest, or whether they had to find weird processes to get there? Like, did people fly into St. Louis and then drive, or like, did we get any feedback on that? No. I know we didn't. Okay, moving on.
I drove. But I know that there were people that flew in who turned around and were like, hey, can I get a ride from the St. Louis airport? Mm-hmm. I don't know if there is, because it was about an hour and a half drive from St. Louis to the venue. I don't know if there are little puddle jumper planes that would take you over there, or what the cost on that would be, or if it would be more time spent waiting in the airport than flying, and then still needing to get a ride from that regional airport to the venue. So it's a lot of stuff to consider. But
talking about that, what about the shipping experience? There was a shipping place that you could send your stuff back.
There is a real post office that you can go to. That's maybe a 5-minute drive from campus. Joe and I went over there. We mailed a lot of things that very quickly ended up arriving while we were still at the event. Mm-hmm. So there are options to do that. It's not a campus, discounted shipping situation. Ooh, they do have some manner of, because the maintenance people were telling me that there was some manner of post office on campus, but I'm thinking that was more or less just a place where the post office comes and puts things in boxes for students, more than it is like a shipping center.
Okay.
And Kat said there was either the post office or the UPS store.
Mm-hmm. And I was wondering what the thoughts or experience was in people having things shipped to campus. I know at least one person had something shipped to them at campus, and it eventually got to them at the dorm. But I didn't know if there was any more detail on, or we heard any more on that process. I don't know if UIS has any sort of protocol for that, or
For what now again?
well, like at Rockhurst, you could send stuff to the shipping center and go pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Whereas,
they had an address where you could mail things to campus and go pick it up, but there were
oh,
kind of limited hours about when you could actually go and collect it. That was something I think that was on the event fact page.
okay.
Well, that's something that we're going to address with the faculty or the people that we work with. We'd like to make that process a lot less stressful and easier for attendees to, it'd be best if they just brought the packages to the dorm and left them there at the ERA desk for for us to pick up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that's something that we'll address with them.
For sure.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Sounds neat.
But like I said, this was a new venue, new everything, new experience for everything, and I imagine we're going to get a lot of feedback. We've gotten a lot of good feedback already, but there's going to be some minutia, little details that what can we do to make it even better, and that's just going to be one of them, one of the many things that the community will consider and take up with the facility.
And again, that's where doing it a second year at the same spot, then you can say, oh, these are the bugs that we need to kind of work out for next year.
Yeah, we improve them and we improve ourselves.
Yeah, Kat, we had hot showers. Yeah, let's talk about the dorm facility itself for a bit.
Yeah.
I think it was a substantial upgrade over previous years, mostly because the dorms are about the same. The environment was about the same. That wasn't any big deal, but it was the shower facilities were a great improvement. A little more private. It's a little bit less of like a college locker room and more of an actual like private bathroom to some extent. Now they were shared amongst. There was like, for the most part, it was one for every two dorm rooms, and Ron and I made sure to share our soap. But I knew you would think that.
I went to Walmart. I purchased soap, and I said, Joe, if you would like to use some of this,
we weren't using it at the same time.
It's like it's not like a bar of ivory soap with like a single pube on top of it. This was a like a thing, like a jug of soap.
Yes.
Pass the soap
that you lathered all over each other. There's an image for the rest of the
really,
night.
really need to move on from my suggested insinuation I now regret saying. Anyway, so
I do have a legit question.
Sure.
Was there a lack of hot water at the former location? Because Kat said about the hot water.
You would turn it on and wait like good 5 minutes for hot water. It was almost like the hot water was being sent from across campus through like 18 miles of pipe before it got there. And then because it was one room with 5 shower stalls, and you had to like take turns and like schedule it. Like I get up at 5 a.m. to avoid everybody and just all of this bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, with I don't know, it was like a 20-gallon hot water tank for that entire building. I don't know. But
sometimes the hot water would never show up.
Yeah, It was just like you'd be lucky if it was tepid and you didn't freeze your whatever.
I like what Ryan said in the chat here. KFest equals 50 shades of beige.
Yes.
The Sheriffs of Rockhurst introduced a shrinkage.
Yes. But this new facility, you would turn the hot water on, and it'd be warm in 10 seconds.
Nice.
So it was nice. Shower stalls were big.
Mhm.
The actual bathroom facility itself was roomy. I know I'm talking about that a lot, but that's like the major change in the dorm facility was just that was so much better.
And elevators.
I will say
Elevators,
this
yes.
is this is the one and only thing that people complained about, and it's addressable. You can figure out a solution for it. Is that at Rockhurst, when you would go down a hallway, you could just look down the hallway and tell what rooms were open, who was there doing things. It was really easy to be like, okay, there's a bunch of noise up here on my left.
Because
But
the doors open directly out into the hallway.
yes,
Oh.
at the new place, they're pods. So you have two dorm rooms, and then you have the bathroom. And so the hallway are pods. So it wasn't as easy to just walk down and see or just discern where people were. So, but modern problems invite modern solutions. So there might be a fun thing for next year to be like, hey, we're going to be back in the same place. If you want to figure out like a flag, like if you're going to be in your room or something, you might be able to like stick a little flag out in the hallway to let people know that you're there and or inviting people to come and visit.
Or
But
instead of door signs, do wall signs.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Kat is also mentioning elevators and carts. We already spoke about elevators. Having the elevator to be able to move in between the floors, large objects was very, very helpful. And carts, yes, the facility provided, they were effectively laundry carts.
Yeah.
Laundry carts. And you could just fill it with your crap and like roll it from your car into the elevator up to your room and into your room and unload basically your entire everything in one trip. It was awesome. It was super duper awesome. So much appreciated on that. I thought about that when I was packing for KFest this year. It's like, do I need to get like a little cheapy furniture dolly or hand truck or whatever? And nope, sure didn't.
Yeah.
Sure didn't have to do that. So
That's a great thing to have. Yeah.
I brought a cart this year, like a push cart, just in case, and I could have gotten by without it. It was really nice having that there to be able to, especially but those things they get used for everything. Like people, like when it was mealtime, it was like we loaded one up with pizzas and brought it inside. Yeah.
So handy. Well, I'm glad you used your cart because that's what allowed me to get that monitor 3 from you.
Yeah, exactly. You could see everything. It wasn't obscured inside those red push around carts.
Yes. Who was it that stand by? I'm looking. Rudy's Retro Intel, who we invited to be on the show tonight, but because it was Monday instead of Sunday, he was not able to. He said he wasn't there, but he's sure the best part was the people. And as every K-Fest, pretty much. That's kind of the point, is to hang out with your friendos, listen to what's been going on in their lives, and have them share this cool love of this quirky old, infinitely hackable and infinitely capable little 8-bit machine. So yes, I agree. Thoughts?
I'll be back.
Yes.
Good.
Is that a threat?
It's a promise.
Yes. I look forward to KansasFest next year as well. I did want to do a quick notice of the COVID policy that was put in place this year. Supporter of that policy. Some people weren't. I understand why. As someone who was directly affected by the bullshiz last year of that, despite masking and all of that, I think that the process was a resounding success this year of requiring people to make sure that they were healthy before they left for the event. I'm not singling you out, Javier, I promise. It's fine. Making sure that people tested before they entered the event, so that they weren't potentially endangering their all their Apple II friends. From what I understand, not a single illness, cold, flu, COVID, allergies, anything. It was just smooth and straight through. So I am a supporter of the new policy. So we'll see how it may have to adjust.
Joe, the virtual event is not over yet. And
Yes.
remember, anytime you watch a YouTube stream, you are watching that YouTube stream with everyone who has ever watched a YouTube stream. So it's possible that some people could get like Monkey B, Code Red, who knows? It's just, so my advice would be to run your antivirus before
YouTube app that redirects you to a full page pornography. Yeah.
Yep.
You might get YouTube tuberculosis.
Can I have that link?
Yeah, it always comes to me.
Jeremy's Vintage Syllabus Shack asks, how does the sleeping part of the accommodations compare between Rockhurst and Springfield? Kat gave her opinion on that. About the same, but mattresses were not plastic and squishier. It's the mattresses were more comfortable. Linens were provided, so that was cool. You didn't have to bring a whole bunch of stuff with you if you didn't want to. Sheets, blankets, towels, the whole 9 yards were provided, so that was really cool. In the past, at Rockhurst, you had to pay an extra fee because those had to be provided, I believe, by the committee by going out and buying a bulk of stuff. Based on who bought what, so you could either bring your own or whatever. But in this case, it was just provided. Jeremy's Vintage Chili Bailey Shack, no privacy. So that's the other thing. You can save a little money and get a group dorm or a group room and have a couple people in a room at the same time.
Have a roommate.
Yeah,
have a roommate.
Sorry, brain, don't do work. Yeah. Or you can do what I did and what Ron did and choose to have a single room.
You can have a double or a single. The double rooms are bigger than the single rooms just by,
the fact that they're
necessity.
double.
And so I had a double room, which was really, really nice because it gives you that extra bed that you can stage and organize and place things out. You have 2 desks, you have 2 dressers. It's really great. So I enjoyed it. I had like a ton of space to spread out and work on things and do stuff. And I really liked it.
And to be clear, like in my case, I picked a single room, but they put me in a double room, so I can't really complain. Yeah, so like you've got the bed and everything on one side, but this other bed is like here's my table to work on, So yes,
it also sounds a bit more like the campus was a bit more like a hotel compared to the old one where they supplied you with the sheets and the towels.
It was a little It was closer to that. It was a little more. I don't know what you want to call it. Modern.
It's like glam camping.
Glamping.
Yeah, glamping. Yeah.
Glamping.
Several questions here. Room aircon was okay. Oh my God, the room aircon was freezing cold. I had to turn mine all the way to the highest temperature, and I still had to like shiver under my blanket.
Okay.
It worked very, very well. It also probably didn't hurt that for whatever reason the weather there was extremely mild. I think the hottest it got one day was 78 degrees. It was really nice that week.
Good.
How was the Wi-Fi connection? Everything, as Broken Garage asks. It was awesome. It actually functioned.
Yeah. There's no shortage of bandwidth either.
Yeah, it just worked.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the one Zoom meeting we had with the one gentleman, which the issue was probably on his end. Either that or CrowdStrike happened to be happening at the exact same time. I don't remember. The live streamers, the people who came in from the outside were fine. We were pushing the stream out without any glitches, stops, or drops. It was really good. It worked really well.
Good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You guys sound really, really happy with the new location.
It was definitely an upgrade.
An upgrade.
It was better too. We had access to Ethernet, even Kat said. Yes, that was correct.
Mm-hmm.
Each room had an Ethernet port. You just go dunk and plug in old school if you wanted to.
Yeah, no jumping through hoops either to get online either.
No,
Yeah.
it just
Mhm.
they provided us with a specific username and password to connect. You type it in, it's like okay, and it just worked.
Yeah, it just stayed. It wasn't like if you like at a hotel or something, or if you're on a Southwest flight where it's if you turn it off for a second, you turn back on, you go through the whole rigmarole to reattach. It just picked up and worked. It was really great.
Nice.
Speaking of CloudStrike, did you guys see that? Like what Southwest Airlines put on social media? They were like, it's like, yeah, where it's basically like, here you come back to us, the company that runs their whole operation off a Commodore 64 in a warehouse in Arlington. You know, it's like, yeah,
It's not far from
our
that,
planes
actually.
were up.
Yeah. It's like Windows 3.1 for the win.
Yeah.
So what do they actually? Because I saw the Commodore 64, which I highly doubt, but then I also
No,
saw
it's
Windows
dope.
3.1. Is that
Yeah.
legit?
Their back end is 3.1, and it's
Oh, wow.
back end is
why
ancient.
upgrade.
Yeah.
It's if your network is completely isolated, I guess it doesn't matter what you run.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you all see what Burger Becky put up about old school running on a GS? Yes. Yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm immune because I run my entire operation on an Apple II GS. Yes. Eric is asking, not Eric, Ryan's asking, how was the VAX connection? Did you have to provide your own terminal?
Yes.
Did anybody have a VAX? I don't think they were doing a VAX. But yeah, it was a really cool event. It was super awesome.
So just one comment, if I can make one.
Sure.
Can you stop calling the committee? Because all I can think of is Star Trek TNG, the drumhead.
Well, I mean, while we were there, it was revealed that Joe's paternal grandfather is Romulan, so
okay,
it might be a little bit closer than what you're really wanting to think. But
and we still have him on the Retro Repair Roundup. We haven't kicked him off yet.
It's
which
all
has been
right.
surprising. Okay,
we're going
we're
by
accommodating here.
Yeah, we're going by the
It technically is my
Picard
podcast
timeline.
DS9 end of DS9 timeline where the Romulans are allies. Yeah,
but
Mhm.
but yeah, yes, it was a super fun event. Yeah, I picked up a lot of manuals and things, and I have a lot of stuff to sort through, and I still haven't unpacked yet, and I will be reliving KansasFest for the next couple of weeks as I go through my pile of things I brought home. So.
I would really encourage everybody that picked up things to even do like a YouTube short or something, and just go through and show off what you got, or make a YouTube short and just talk about like something really cool you saw there, or get to see your friends, or whatever it is that speaks out to you the most, and tag the event in that, because the best thing that you can do as an attendee or someone who's excited about going maybe for the first time next year is to talk about it and to tell your friends about it and to get them excited about it too, because that's the way the event grows and that's the way that the hobby continues. So it's great that we have this, and it might sound this way to people that have not been, that it's like, oh, it's this tight group of people, and it's like these people have been seeing each other for 20 years, and I don't know if I'd fit in with that group. That's not it at all. There are new folks that come every year, and guess what? They come back the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that, and that's why we're fast friends, with people that you've been getting together with for 20 years, and it's because they came that first time. And they weren't afraid to try this new fun experience. And there's some folks that are just like, I don't know about dorm life. I don't know about that. There's nothing stopping you from getting an Airbnb or a cheap hotel room off site and signing up to just attend sessions, to come and do meals, or however that pricing kind of breaks out. They're very accommodating. It's just people. It's not like dealing with like a mega corporation to try to figure out how you can participate. It's just as simple as reaching out to the committee and saying, Like, hey, I want to come, but I don't know if I want to stay on campus. What are my options? They'll work with you. So
yeah, everything short of camping on the campus in like a tent.
Mm-hmm.
But just to echo your what you just said, we had a huge turnout of new people this year, and we love seeing and meeting new people because you learn about their experiences with the Apple II, and it's really easy to become friends with them.
I met several new people this year, many of which were first-time attendees, and those of us, me, Ron and I specifically, because we've got this online presence, we're a face, and these new attendees, they walk up to you, it's like, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? And it's like, yeah. And then you can become friends with these folks and be like, welcome to your first KansasFest. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
And they just strike up a conversation with you, and then you can start to build that family and that community even more. It's really nice.
Absolutely.
Well, I remember when I met you, Joe, and Ron for the first time, and I found out that you guys had these this presence, and I did not know about it. I guess I was naive, but you guys seem very welcoming and from the other side, and I'm glad you guys keep showing up. I think of you guys as great friends.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Sean. But it's kind of one of those things. You throw yourself out there, and the right people will kind of gravitate to you.
Come to you,
yeah, and that's very much like the KFest community. So it's a group of very like-minded people. You don't go there to talk politics. You don't go there to talk about the stresses of the outside world. You go there to talk about the hobby. And to kind of get to know people more than soundbite kind of stuff. So
yeah, I like that we go there and the Apple II is the wrapper around humanity.
Yeah.
Trina, we're going to take your suggestion and we're going to rebrand as the Awesome Party Organizers.
There you go.
There you go.
Awesome Party Organizers.
That'll do it.
Cool beans. Okay, so further thoughts, comments on KFest this year, and what are we looking forward to next year? Just making more friends, seeing more cool things happen.
It being in Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the language barrier, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yep. I am looking forward.
But we all have to get passports because we're mostly from America.
Yeah, I already have a passport. So.
Yeah, and if we showed up, we'd all get a jelly about your free health care and all that other.
Yeah,
I know. I'd get some elective stuff done while I was there.
While you're there, yeah.
We'd all come back all rebellious and not wanting to pay.
Just while you're there, just check with the doctor. Go, hey, I need X, Y, and Z done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, can you make me look like the lead character on Murdoch Mysteries? Yeah. And they'll be like, yeah, that's it's sort of like all we do here these days.
And I wouldn't be able to say Z when I really want to say 0.
What implants got, Bob? What implants?
Don't ask. Don't ask.
As somebody, I can testify, you can't get free implants.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to pay for those.
Elective. Anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So cool beans. Awesome sauce. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on KFest virtual, because it's not over yet, technically speaking.
Next week.
Virtual KFest.
A whole 3 more days. Yep. 3 more days.
Yeah, not even next week yet.
And so for those of us who can't physically make it to KansasFest, or those who have, health concerns for obvious reasons, and that's fine. KFest is doing what it has done in the previous years, and that has a virtual component where you can log on to the Discord and watch the streams and participate in those things remotely. So tell us a little bit about that, Sean, and how that's scheduled to play out.
Well, I believe it's Saturday and Sunday. We just We have live and recorded presentations. Some of it will be what we had at the main event, but we also have some unique events that are like totally exclusive to the live event. And there's going to be a variety of topics like making the A2 FPGA. They're going to talk about the A2 Pico again and the Apple II floppy emulator and imager. That's the stuff that we had at the live event. But there's going to be the print shop's 40th anniversary presentation. I'm just speaking off memory here. There's just going to be a lot of cool events over those 2 days, and it's not too late to sign up if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Scarlet 4L, I could ask, is the Discord live for KFest, or did I just miss that memo? Hi, Veronica.
It's live.
Yep, cool. So if you've signed up for KFest, either the in-person or virtual, you get linkadoodles to be able to get into that Discord and participate in all of the activities. Cool. And the cool thing is that the Discord, even when the actual shows aren't going, or the presentations and speaking engagements aren't going, the Discord is still running. You're in there in the background talking with all your friendos about everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. And it's really awesome.
It is pretty great.
Yep. David, I want to meet you fellas. I don't want to meet you. I talk to you online all the time, and you're weird.
So Javier, what was your recent get this week?
Oh. Mice. A lot of mice.
Oh, yeah.
I want to try one of those.
Yeah, optical. Yeah.
Optical mice.
Well, tell us
this
about
is the new version about to be actually unveiled. This is the USB version of the mouse because people are asking for it. So, yeah, I've been just buried in mice and more mice and more mice.
So how do you right click?
No right click. These are for Apple IIs and Macintosh. No right click.
So you hold down the modifier key on the keyboard.
Right click on the Apple II.
On the Apple II?
On the two GOs.
Oh yeah. Well,
if you put a 2-button mouse on it.
Yeah, but this is for Apple II and Mac Plus, basically.
Okay.
And Lisa.
So Javier, he's talked about it before, but basically, you got a little adapter board from somebody, Chris, what's his last name?
It's Auger. Yeah.
Chris Auger. He designed a little device that converts USB into the original Mac and Apple II and Lisa protocol. So
that's cool.
Javier's been putting stuff together.
Put a wrapper into it. Yeah.
Doing it, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. Awesome sauce.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Trina, what'd you find?
Nothing really. I have a PowerBook. I have this G5, which I've put up for sale, and I sold the PowerBook G4.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, good.
So I really haven't got. Oh, and I also got. If anybody needs an IBM / Lenovo ThinkPad power supply, I have 2 bins back here full of them.
Oh, there she is. She's getting bends of cables again.
Square tips.
Square and circular. So yeah, if anybody needs one, talk to me, please, please.
You gotta get rid of them.
I gotta get rid of them. Yeah. But that's been pretty much it. I've done some rearranging, so now people can actually see my monitor that's at the end of the bench. When I point a webcam at it, I've actually moved the camera closer, moved the testing computer over here.
Well, that is what's different. I can see more stuff.
No. This camera's still the same. It's the workbench one.
Oh,
you can't. Yeah.
I see more stuff. That's because she's cluttered her apartment with more garbage.
That's why I'm putting them up for sale. Going, please take yesterday.
Yeah. Scarlett says you need to sell the cables to make room for more cats.
Yeah.
No, I had an email a little while ago from my ex because my ex took one of the cats when we broke up and said, "Can you take the cat back?" And I'm like, 2 cats in this apartment is just comfortable. 3 would be a bit of a tight squeeze. So
Yeah.
legitimately no more cats in this apartment.
Now everybody in the comments are saying more cats.
Yeah, I know, right?
Meow. Cool. So yeah, those did you said you sold both of those two
Well, I sold the G4 and
Okay.
I messaged off the person because they want me. They're going to send me the original box for this with padding. Was what they messaged me today and said, "I'm out in Alberta. I have the box with all the padding and blah blah blah. Can I send you the box and you send me that?" And I'm like, "Okay, you're in Alberta. You're not out of country, so yeah, I just sent him a message because I'm like, can you at least pay for this so I can mark it as ship sold and stop getting other people going, where are you? Like, when can I come pick this up? And I'm like, sorry, it's in talks.
David wants you to ship the cat to him because he only has 11.
Contact my ex. God only knows what's happened to poor Freedom at this point.
How I miss my ex.
You gave away your freedom?
I gave away my freedom.
Canadian thing.
On Cat Hill. Anyway, cool.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's up next for everybody before we round this wonderful stream out to a close? Anything anybody wants to bring up that they want to talk about? No.
Very happy to hear about KansasFest. That's all.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that it's also people were seen to be, as Ron mentioned, when he was asking people about the negative parts of it, they were going,
tough to come up with something.
Yeah, which is great to hear.
Very good.
I would say I did want to plug something that is kind of general kind of community interest. There is a organization that is called the Big Red Arrow, which is sort of a group that it's a club that helps YouTubers and things like that. Recently did a live stream about mental health and content creation, and sometimes how sort of that can feel like a crush to feel like you have to perform or you have to meet some sort of artificial metric to be able to participate. And the answer, of course, is no. Have fun, do it at your own pace. Don't let other people dictate how you should have fun with your hobby. But if you go to the Big Red Arrow Roundtable, which the YouTube page, I think, is just like Big Red Arrow, or Big Red Arrow Club, rather. I was on there yesterday just talking about mental health issues. And granted, nobody that was on the stream is a mental health professional, but we're people that have been there. So maybe there might be some solace in what we're saying, or maybe some actionable kind of advice. But you should definitely check that out.
Definitely, yeah.
I was gonna follow Scarlett's suggestion of plugging the World of Retro Computing event, but it doesn't work. The website actually is not working, and I don't exactly know the dates. It just comes up saying the site can't be reached.
All you got to do is go to archive.org and use the Wayback Machine to pull up the page the day before the CrowdStrike. And there you go. You'll know. Or just check the open hours for whatever your local Ralph's is, because since it takes place at a grocery store, it's probably going to be the same hours for the event. So.
But see, the funny part is you say Ralph's because it's apparently a grocery chain. I'm going to guess in the state.
Piggly Wiggly. Just check the hours at your local Piggly Wiggly, Winn-Dixie,
Harris Teeter.
Yeah.
There you go, talking
Schnucks.
Missouri.
Because see, and where I grew up in Halifax, Ralph's is a strip club. So every time somebody says Ralph's,
listen, people are going to be taking it off at this event too. So just go ahead and check the schedule for Ralph's, the strip club version, and
the strip club.
it'll probably be the same.
So apparently the World of Retro Computing is working for GovBomb, and it's September 14th and 15th in Kitchener, Ontario, and it's at the same place, the former grocery store.
Yeah,
So.
the former location. Don't worry though; they still have all of the banana boxes that you can carry home for free.
Well, that's how you take home all the computers you buy.
It's true. Trina went last year, and I hope that this year she takes more pictures, because last year she took one picture.
I'm not big on taking pictures. I get doing things and I forget.
Yeah. Took one picture, and it was of the shit she bought and took home, and then showed us again anyway.
But
so
you didn't get
in case
see
you didn't
close.
believe where she sourced it, you got to see. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be going this year, so finances are tight.
So why even bring it up?
It's Scarlett's fault.
Our favorite strip club here in Kansas is Walmart.
Yeah.
You just never know what you're going to see at the local Walmart.
Oh my God.
I think that's just a common across.
It might be, but I tell you, in Little Paola, Kansas, where our Walmart is, I have seen people walk in there with just everything kind of falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little left to the imagination. Our local strip club, which is 45 minutes away and in the middle of nowhere, is called the Foxhole, and their featured dancer is One-Armed Kate.
Oh,
nice.
Anyway.
Well,
all right. I think we're
okay.
good.
I think this is a good spot for us to end the stream for tonight. It has been awesome hearing about KansasFest from those of us that went there, and from those of us who wanted to hear about it. So awesome sauce. Let's take a minute to run around the loop here and ask everybody to tell everybody where they come from.
Trina.
Oh, it's my. Oh, I'm going. For
You're literally.
Well, I'm not used to being up at the top.
Fine, I'll put you down here. Go there.
Where we come from?
Where you can find me now is at trinastech.com. I just put the link in my doodle in the chat.
Nice.
Huge thanks to Ron, who helped me obtain the site. But yeah, go to trinastech.com and all my links are there.
Cool.
Javier.
Well, 8BTs, where you can get all these cool T-shirts. 8BTs, you can see it back there. Oop, there. Go over there.
Dressed nerds.
Yeah, exactly. Nerd stuff. Nerd shirts. And also, I'm selling the 3D printed stuff, so you can get joysticks.
Those mice are freaking awesome. Go get one. Joe says get one, or he'll be angry at you.
Yeah,
I want one.
There you go.
Or two.
I don't have a computer to use it on.
But you want
Get
it
the
anyway.
USB one. It'll work on anything.
Do it. That's it.
Sean.
You can find me on Facebook. I'm in search of maybe doing a website, but I haven't really committed yet.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Cool. Ron.
Oh, actually, I had something that I wanted to show off real fast. This will take just a second. But if
you have 10 seconds.
If people are, don't worry, it's already going. But if people are interested in learning more about what I'm doing, they can go to ronscompvids.com.
Thanks.
Pretty easy. But I wanted to show, because I told people about the shirts, but I didn't have time to upload the artwork and everything today. But I have a new shirt that's it's thanks, John Scully. This is not maybe an esoteric joke, but maybe it is. John Scully was the former CEO of Pepsi before coming over to Apple. So we have a beautiful shirt that has a combination of the two logos. So I finished that up the other day. But the one that I'm especially proud of are Waz and Steve, our friends. which is
Oh,
sort of a take on the children's book and
Yeah.
the fact that Waz and Steve, for a time, were friends.
We're friends.
We're friends.
Okay.
But that's it.
You are crazy creative.
I try. I have funny ideas. So actually, there was a couple of things that I thought of at KFest. I'm like, hold on one second. I'm sending myself an email with just like a note where I come back and follow up on things. So, but
Cool.
Yep. So,
Yep.
I have something else, but I'll save that for another time. But
What?
well, it's esoteric. It's too esoteric, but it has to do with our friend Sark and a funny joke that Kate made at the event. So it's so I don't want to ruin anything. So
Okay.
I'll show it off another time.
The joke, you mean?
Yeah, the well, not the joke, but like the what was the result of the joke?
The anecdote.
The bar of soap that you two shared.
See, Trina picked up what I was putting down.
Yeah.
Cool. And don't you have a website people can go to, Ron, to find all your Linkadoodles?
Yeah, you can go to ronscompvids.com.
Cool. And last, and certainly least, is me. I'm Joe of Joe's Computer Museum. Welcome to my museum. See my logo? I am so bougie. I have my own work shirts. No, you can't buy these on my website. These are my work shirts. Anyway, no, you can go to jcm-1.com and find all Linkadoodles about me and the cool stuff that I am putting out there to the world and the cool stuff that I give my friends the opportunity to put out into the world, including Ian Scott's Pico Gus's and like 45,000 things Ron has designed and stuff from our friends Sloopy and Frodo Jedi and a lot of other folks. Met with a lot of people at KFest this year who want to put stuff on my website too, so we'll be able to have even more cool stuff out there for people to keep their old computers running. So
Gutbomb's asking for a shirt since he's an intern.
No, see, the thing is, the moment I give you a shirt, you're no longer an intern, you're technically an employee. And then that complicates my entire tax structure, especially since it's cross state lines. So no, you can't have a shirt.
What about no?
Anyway, so that is all we have for this episode of Retro Repair Roundup number 59.
Sorry,
What?
I'm just reading what David said, like Monica Gutbomb.
Yes.
Yeah.
So first and second, and third, yes. So yeah, it's just no.
All right.
No.
Sorry. Oh, I've lost it.
Anyway, episode 60 will be on August 4th, it looks like, according to the schedule. I'm not sure.
No.
No.
Yes, August 4th.
Yes.
No.
August 4th.
Yes.
Yep. Because it was the 21st, and
Yes.
then the next is the 4th. Yeah. Mhm.
Yep, got it.
So it'll be on August 4th. Our guest will be, we're not sure yet, but our wonderful friend Rudy, one of the founders of Retro Repair Roundup, would love to come back to the show. So if the schedule works out, Rudy will come back and join us. And maybe in addition to Rudy, we'll have another guest. I think we should just have Rudy on.
I think
Because
so.
we have not heard from our friend in so long about
He's a
all
lot,
the updates and the cool stuff. We need to hear from Rudy.
Yeah,
So
we need
do
to
it. Do a great catch-up episode with him. Yeah.
absolutely. So
Gotcha.
that's all for today's episode. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for everybody there in the chat who participated, threw us lots of awesome questions. Remember, hit like and do subscribe and do all of that stuff. And we will see you all in a couple weeks. Good night, everybody.
Bye.